day, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am coming in today with look number 3 of my summer nights collection. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you are not a subscriber, make sure that you do subscribe. Don't forget to thumbs up this video and hit the bell, because on Wednesday will be my 4th look for my summer nights collection. You all, if you are new to the channel, it was maybe 3 months ago, I had shared with you, and I'll leave a link in the iCard here. I shared with you my summer nights collection series. It was 5 different pieces. One was for special occasion, so I've already shared 2. The first one was the Vicky Soul's llama blouse. Then the second one was the Bagley Michka dress that was made for the anniversary. So definitely check those out. Those are so good. So this is look number 3, and I am in love with this pattern. So this is Vogue 8926. I do apologize in advance. This is an out of print pattern, and it was out of print when I purchased it. I just purchased this pattern, if you all remember, months ago. I purchased it back in April, at the start of April, and it didn't take long for me to get it. I received it within 12 days, I should say, because I did purchase this off of Etsy from, the shop was Pattern, let me look real quick, it's called PatternsCentral, but they're based out of Australia. I wanted this pattern so bad, I paid a total of, with shipping, $35.70 to get this pattern. And let me just tell you first and foremost, I have it on, but let me tell you first and foremost, I saw this, I'm on So Much Fabric, Roz, you all know So Much Fabric. I'm on her mailing list, so every time she sends out a newsletter, she usually shares if someone made something in her fabric, obviously, right? And so this one lady made this top, but it was sleeveless, and I just fell in love with it, and I said, you know what, I want that. And the intention was to make it sleeveless, and technically the weather here right now in Texas is absolutely gorgeous. We have the windows open. It's in the 80s. Nice breeze, everything. It is beautiful. So the windows are open and everything. And so what I decided to do, because I knew at the time when I told you about these plans, I wouldn't make it probably until August, September. It's obviously October, but with the weather and everything, and it's not like it's gonna get super cold, I decided just to put sleeves on it. As one of the options is sleeves. The sleeves are meant to be longer, but I made mine much shorter because this wasn't supposed to be with sleeves, but sleeveless. So let me get into the details on this pattern. Okay, so I went ahead and took it off so I'll be able to show you some of the details. So first thing first, I did trace all of my pattern pieces, obviously because it is out of print, and I hunted this pattern down because I wanted the larger size pack. It does have a smaller size pack. This one, mine, it goes from large to XXL, and so then there's a size below that. And so the only shop on Etsy was that shop that I found with that size pattern. And so let me see. Now, if you know how sometimes Vogue or Simplicity Now or whatever re-release older patterns, if they re-release this, I am getting it again, just so I can have 2 in my stash. I will get it again. Okay, so one, it's very easy to, so it is labeled Easy Vogue, and so you only have your front, your tie belt, your back, and the sleeve, and your facing piece. Now here's the thing, views C and B do not call for a facing piece, but that can be deceiving. If you look on, there are a lot of pattern reviews on patternreview.com for this pattern, but the pattern you might get a little confused on is for B and C. For those views, it doesn't call for you to use the facing piece. it calls for you to use the facing piece on view A only. However, if you look at the pattern, you will see that view B and C, the right side of the fabric looks like on the opening is still on that opening part, but when you sew those views, it doesn't call for you to put in the facing piece. So the only way you're going to get the right side of the fabric showing, how you see on mine, is if you do the facing piece. And I would I want to believe the people on Pattern Review, because a lot of people have done more of jackets of this, because you can't, as you can see, BC look more like jackets than tops. But I would venture to say that, I haven't checked, but I would venture to say they use the facing piece, because on BC you do bind the edges all around. So that's what I have to believe that's what they did in order to show that, so the facing piece is showing. So I decided to do view A, and I just added the sleeves on there. Now, here's the thing. If I decide to go sleeveless for view A, keep in mind, the pattern calls for you to, which I was like, really? Calls for you to turn the arm side in twice. And I'm like, that is horrible. I would not have liked that. I would have used bias binding and just turned the bias binding in to have a nice clean finish. I wouldn't, because turning, yeah, I don't like that turning twice in narrow hem type thing around arm size and necklines. But super easy to sew. The facing piece, and I'm going to share with you here momentarily, it is only, let me tell you, and again, it's going to depend on if you do view A or if you do C, or what's that, C or B. This is all the instructions. You pretty much start right here at the top and you end back here. It's only 29 steps, and again, you take out the steps that you don't need depending on the view that you do. But I absolutely love it. I love the neckline. Let me share with you. There are a couple, I am making this again, especially sleeveless. I definitely want, and I don't mind another sleeve version. So let me hold it up so you can see. So as you can tell, I did finish I serged my seams. Definitely depending on the fabric you use, I would say, so say you used a rayon challis, or so, it doesn't even call for a rayon challis. As a matter of fact, it was quite strange. The fabric, and this pattern isn't that old. It's from 2013, so it's not terribly old, but it only called for, the type of fabric it called for was, where is it? A brocade, poplin, or crepe. I mean, that's kind of, it doesn't say anything about your viscose challis. I use linen. It doesn't mention linen. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't mention any, even a lightweight sateen I think would be nice in this. But yeah, I think you have way more fabric options than it calls for. So it doesn't call for linen, but that's what I used. And my linen came from Joann Fabrics. I caught this on sale way in the summertime when it was having like 60-70% off or something like that. And so because this was intended to be sleeveless and not sleeves, the sleeves are meant to be longer. I would have never made them longer to start. I just made them the length of how much fabric I had left. And when I tell you I have no fabric left, which I love, don't you love when you sew something and you like use up all of the fabric? I have like little bitty scraps, and that just went into my little scrap bin. But so that's the length of sleeve I went for. So like I was saying, depending on the fabric you use, you might want to consider doing French seams. I can definitely see making this again in French seaming this, and you know, if I do linen again and I do it in, you know, whatever color, I do, just my personal preference, like to have my thread matching as close to the color of the garment as possible. So this is in black, doesn't look horrible, but that's my preference personally. But the back neckline, I love how this comes together. This folds over, so you have that facing back facing piece that goes around the neckline, and it folds over, and it's such a beautiful finish. And on the inside, when you fold that in, it's clean. They have you, it's just a clean finish right along that back neckline. And so absolutely love that. One of the things I also did, let me share with you the facing. So here's the facing. That's all the facing piece. You can see that on the inside. And so one of the things also that I did, I wanted to mention, one side that is serged, this side is serged, right? But I serged the seam separate. So this is the side where the tie goes through. I wanted to be able to stitch around that. Hopefully you can see it. So I stitched around this area just so it's stable. I didn't want to stitch the seam together, stop, and then go down here and sew around. I wanted to lay much nicer than that. So that's what I did. Again, apologies that this one is out of print, but it is so worth getting. Yeah, I think it's worth getting. And or think about, if it is re-released, put this on your list of grab it for sure. It's so easy to make. Oh, the other thing I wanted to, I don't know if you can even tell in the pictures and video I pop up, but the shoulder right here has a dart right here in the shoulder. Again, you can't see it. You can kind of see it right there. There is a dart right there, which I think looks really nice. And I can imagine if you use something a little bit more fluid, more drapey, how that will probably have the sleeve sit a little different on you. But when I say I absolutely love this top, and for the ties, for me, I always like my ties to be longer than what the pattern calls for. And so I did make mine much longer, just so it can go all the way around comfortably. And I just have a short, and I'll pop a video, a little tie, just a small little kind of tie in the front. But if you're the type that like to maybe wrap around and then your ties to be much longer in the front, you definitely want to take that in consideration for your fabric, because then you will want to make this, I would say, twice the length that the pattern calls for. I already used the largest size, and I just went with that because that's all the fabric I had. Because for me, you can't tell in the pictures, but this is seamed 1, 2, 3 seams to make this, because I was scrapping all of the scraps of my fabric, and it was because, you know, I decided to do sleeves, so I was running out of fabric. But when I say I seamed and pieced these ties together to make sure that they were long enough, it worked. And so when I say I love this, and it will go with the pants, which is look number 4 coming up on Wednesday, perfectly, the color and everything. And so I just styled it today for pictures with what I have on, which I always knew I would wear a tank underneath, because I can tell by the picture that obviously those are, you know, illustrations, and the illustrations are smaller bust people, and so I knew for fuller bust I was gonna want to have something underneath, a cami or a tank. So I decided to pair it with my Know Me 2026. I shared this already. I made a dress, and I made the actual dress from that pattern, but I also modified it to have a tank. I made a couple tanks, actually. I made that pattern 3 times now. So anyway, I already had this, so I knew I would wear it up underneath, and I just put on my Rebecca Page culotte pants with it just for pictures today. But I absolutely love how this turned out. When I say easy pattern, yes, I will be making this many more times, especially come spring and summer. So that is this, and of course fall. I can see me making another for fall. I'm considering what other fabric do I have or do I need to get to make another fall one. So easy. You can sew this up, I would say, within an hour and a half. You will have this sewn up. It's a quick, easy make. Definitely a very easy Vogue. I do agree with that. And so yeah, again, sorry this one is out of print, but if you like it, you like the style and everything, I say go for it. And for those who have it, because there were a few people that mentioned they had it when I first talked about this, pull it out and make it. beautiful, easy, super duper easy pattern. So that is it, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I greatly appreciate it. And don't forget, tune in on Wednesday. We'll have look number 4, and then I think I should have look number 5, my final look, the following Sunday. So anyway, stay tuned. If you have any questions, definitely leave them down in the comment section below. I will also have the link and the form for those who are interested in the BHM Pattern Designers Retreat. It will be a luxury retreat. I have so much fun planned for you guys. A lot of things will be taken care of for you, but if you want to be on the list to know when more information is coming out, I will leave a link to that form down in the description box. Make sure you fill that out. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in today. I greatly appreciate it. You all have a blessed start to your week, and we will see you on Wednesday. Bye.